All right, good morning, people. We're going to do a talk this morning. You can get over to my page here. We're going to talk on why you're going to struggle to become a furniture maker full time, right? And everyone does the videos on, well, this is what you need to do, and then you can be successful, and this is what you need to do, and you're going to be rich just like me, and you're going to be successful just like me, and everyone has the tips for how to make it, right? Like, I'm going to tell you why you're not going to make it. And I'm doing this because this is the thing that afflicts most people, right? So we'll go over here to go over this list, okay? And truth is that we just, as people, we have all these things that afflict us, and it's not. I mean, it's not. Nobody's special. I mean, nobody is special. And the fact is that unless you can work on these particular issues, you're really going to struggle to get where you want to be, which is away from your full-time W-2 job and into being an actual woodworker full-time, right? Whether that's furniture making, cabinet making, maybe you're doing something in the trades. Like, to get away from working for somebody else, you have to develop these skills in order to do that, right? And again, this is a video for just hardcore reality about people, okay? And if you can disagree with me, I'd love to hear your comments, but like, share, and subscribe if you like all this content, because it's important that people hear this stuff. Like, and I think I've said it 2 or 3 times at this point. People don't want to talk about this because everyone's trying to sell you something, right? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to tell you what the reality of the situation is, and you do with the information what you want, okay? So let's get started. Being a business owner isn't most people's wheelhouse, okay? This is the truth. It just isn't, because what you end up doing, let me go over here to another page. What you end up doing isn't woodworking, okay? No one cares about your woodworking, right? You can make the most beautiful thing in the world and nobody gives a shit, okay? What they care about is what you deliver. Do you deliver on your promise, right? And this is the thing that afflicts most business owners. They can't deliver on the thing that they're supposed to deliver. And what is that thing? That thing is whatever the competition is delivering, okay? So when I go here to, here's the backside of the YouTube thing, okay? When I go to the backside of the YouTube thing, you have to learn how to create videos, right? And not because you want to be a content creator, but because unfortunately in today's reality, you have to have some kind of a way for someone to look on their phone and see your product. They want to know how it's made. They want to know how you deliver things. They want to know about you as a person. They want to know so many things. So it's important that you learn how to make video, right? Like, I've got this 2K camera here, right? I've got this microphone. If I lift this thing up here, put it in the screen, okay? I got this microphone. You got to learn how to record. There's a light here that you don't see, okay? The light enhances the view of me on the video. What I'm talking about is, you have to learn about all this kind of stuff, right?
Because snakes and sparklers are the only ones I like.
Well, that might be your problem. It's not what you like, it's the consumer.
And this is where most like woodworker types get lost. They don't want to learn about this shit. And I don't blame you. I don't want to learn about it either. But truth is there's being a business owner, and then there's being a woodworker. And you can be a woodworker for a little bit, but at some point you're going to have to learn to be a business owner, okay? And this isn't your 10 tips on how to be a business owner either. So you have to learn that kind of stuff. You're going to have to learn how to do, I'm going to go back over our list here. You're going to have to learn to do all kinds of things that you don't necessarily want to learn, right? And that's a skill. And as we go down this list, I'm going to talk more about these things, okay? Nobody cares about your furniture making skills, right? I said this, okay? Customers care about that you deliver on your promise, okay? So the thing about it is, when you start being in business, odds are you're going to fill a need for somebody that's probably in your local community, okay? At some point, you're going to have to get out of that local community, and you're going to have to deliver things to other people in America, right? It's very competitive where you're at, which is fine if you're really good at what you do. You can deliver a fantastic product and a good experience during the process of developing that product, making that product, whatever it is you have to do, delivering that product. If you can do all those things, you can become very successful in your local area, but you're going to always be hamstrung by that local area, right? That radius, okay? So it's really important that you over deliver on your promises and you deliver an experience that matches what people are expecting, okay? So when I first started out in furniture, I was just making cabinets for a general contractor. He needed someone to make furniture. I had a shop. I had some workers. I had some skills and tools and things like that. And I made furniture for this guy. And, it was great, but I didn't understand advertising.
Fugazi, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart.
I didn't understand marketing. I didn't understand networking and all these kind of things. So I was hamstrung by that particular individual in Savannah, Georgia. And so I couldn't grow. And then eventually I picked up a designer, and that designer helped me out. And then, you see how this thing can snowball. If you can find these people, you can then develop these relationships, and they will bring you work, but it's very slow going, right? Word of mouth, it works really well, but it's very slow going. Whereas if you learn marketing, if you learn how to get on Facebook, you learn how to get on Google, you learn these things, you learn to develop YouTube videos, people can find you much faster via search, right? And then, yes, you do have to deliver that product, and you have to learn logistics and all those kind of things, but that goes into some of the next things that we're going to talk about, which is learning new skills, right? You can't always be focused on creating the most amazing joinery with the most amazing wood. Like, nobody gives a shit. I hate it's gonna be the theme of this video. Okay. They want to know that you can deliver the product that they are believing is whatever they think that it is, right? So after I got away from that person in Savannah, I moved up here to St. Louis, Missouri. When I started working at Gulfstream here in St. Louis, Missouri, I was not making furniture, to be quite honest with you, but I ended up meeting a woman who was painting vintage furniture, right? And she would get certain things made from people, like bases and feet, and she'd have furniture fixed. And the quality and the materials that these people used was so offensive to me that I couldn't stomach them doing the work. So I just started doing the work for free, right? For nothing, because it was really important to me that this gal had a really nice product that which she was delivering, right? And then, of course, we ended up dating, we get married, all these kind of things. And then we start making furniture, and we deliver one of the highest quality products that there is, right? Or at least it's the same standard as all the high quality shit that's in America. So when a customer gets our product now, they have waited literally years to buy our furniture, okay? They've seen the high gloss. We've talked about it. I've talked about the quality. My wife has talked about the quality. We've got hundreds and hundreds of testimonials from people talking about how amazing it is and what they felt when they got our products, right? I have videos of furniture being delivered, and we've built up this experience over the years that people, when they buy our stuff, they expect to basically have the baby Jesus delivered to their door, right? It needs to be beautiful. It needs to be glossy. It needs to be of high quality. It needs to be everything that they hoped in their mind, right? Whatever they built up, it needs to be all those things and more. And that's unfortunately what it is when you start growing a business. Okay. It's very important people understand that. Customers must feel what their minds tell them. Okay. It's very important. I don't think enough people understand that you got to deliver, man. Okay. So next thing is people lack discipline. And this is one of those things that people don't want to hear. Like, oh, Eric, F you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know me and my situation. And done this long enough, I know.
This motherfucker is going to keep coming after whatever the fuck is in front of him. I wanted that. I wanted that worse than anything in the world.
Most people's limitations, and it's a lack of discipline. Okay. It really is. Okay. It's showing up on time. It's, having soft skills, being able to communicate with people. It's being able to, do a good job, know what a good job is, want to do a good job, right? These kind of things are super important when you're at home and you know that you need to make furniture, or you need to work on a website, or you need to learn about CNCs, whatever it is you need to do. You need to have the discipline to go do it like it's a job. And this is the thing that most people don't do, especially in furniture. It's a hobby. They're like, oh, so-and-so needs me to build this thing, and I'm going to get it done. And then it comes time to go to work, and you're like, I kind of want to watch this next episode of, The Last of Us, or whatever the hell it is you're watching. Or my wife needs my help, or my kids need my help. Like, unfortunately, you got to be able to tell all those people, F off. Like, I'm not interested. I got to go to work. I got to go do this thing. And you're going to take care of yourself, because I got to go do this thing, which is my dream. And if I let you, the world, compromise what it is that I need to do, I'm not going to get it done. And the other thing is that you're already behind the eight ball when you want to develop your own business. You are behind everybody else that's already started. So you basically have to accelerate. You got to work faster and harder than the people that have been at it for 8, 10, 12 years already. And that's the other thing people don't understand. No matter how good you are, no matter what kind of a shop you have, the tools you have, how big your Johnson is, there are people that have been doing it for longer and do it better. And unfortunately, you're going to have to put in that 10,000 hours. Like on day one, you're going to have to start doing that 10, 12 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week of just grinding hard as you possibly can if you're going to make it in this industry. And again, people don't want to talk about this, and you're saying, Eric, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you something. I'm one of these people that's been in a long time. I'm not rich. I don't make a ton of freaking money, and I bust my ass every day, and I love it. I don't mind busting my ass every day and not getting paid a ton of money some years. There are years I lose money. I go backwards. I have to fire people. Machines break. It takes me time to get all these things going again. And you just have to be able to get up every freaking day and go like you're the baddest motherfucker on the earth. Like that's just how it is. Okay. I know people here in St. Louis do the same thing I do, right? They build massive conference tables and build the most like beautiful natural wood projects you've ever seen. They're not rich either. They've got big facilities just like I do. They've got employees. They've got, CNC routers and tools, and they're having some good years. Other years suck. And this is the reality of owning a business and working really hard is you're not always going to get paid first. In fact, most of the time you're going to get paid last. And what you think, what you think is going to be this amazing experience and working with your hands and making furniture and having your friends and colleagues see what you're doing, you're going to become, an authority. Like, it doesn't work out that way. And it's not going to work out that way at first, Now, are there people that can do this kind of stuff? 100%. There are your flash in the pan people. We all know the Bourbon Moss and the Blacktail Studios, and we've got the people that do the reviews, and all these people are talented. They all do great things, but their success comes from YouTube. It doesn't come from their products, right? And some people say, "Oh no, they were successful before this." No, they're not. They're not making their money from making furniture full time, because as soon as they get a taste of that easy YouTube money or that content creation money, the grind of finding customers and the grind of making new products and the grind of learning new skills goes by the wayside, right? You get that easy sponsorship and that easy content creation click money, and then you start outsourcing everything, right? You start hiring VAs from overseas. You start hiring video editors from overseas. You start hiring people that can do all these jobs that you would normally not be able to do as a regular old business owner that's manufacturing products, right? It's a very different business model, and kudos to those people for doing it, but they're the 1% of the 1%, and you got to get real about what the expectations are for you and what it is that you want to do, at least in the beginning, right? You have to have almost like a mind that cannot be broken.
I wanted to just go the distance. And that going the distance pushed me to a point of where now I go way past the distance.
And you have to have a goal and a vision that cannot be broken, okay? So people lack the discipline to do these things, and it's just the cold, hard reality. Okay, I'm going to show you something. I'm a big Stephen King fan. Like, I've always liked this guy, and I've always enjoyed his novels and even his cheesy movies, right? So I'm going to click over here, and I found a couple of quotes that I really enjoyed, and this is modern history. I'll talk about this at some point. That's something that's coming down the pipeline. I get the yuckies when I have to talk about pre-made furniture and furniture made overseas. All right, so what people don't know about Stephen King, right? Everyone sees Stephen King and they think, "Oh God, this guy's so successful. He's one of the greatest authors that's ever lived." In his novels, everyone knows a Stephen King novel, right? So we're going to start right up here. All right, so here is Stephen King's work ethic. Okay, King sets a word count goal every day, including holidays, aiming for a target of 2,000 words, roughly 10 pages. He writes much like an athlete would train, obsessively, right, with momentum and in a disciplined manner, right? He writes at this velocity so his story drafts remain fresh and familiar, okay? What this guy's doing is he is setting a goal, right? So every freaking day you write 10 pages, right? And 10 pages might sound like a shit ton to you, but I would imagine to an author it's not very much. This is the equivalent of a woodworker going out and building probably, I don't know, a cabinet's worth of drawer boxes, right? Build a carcass, build some drawer boxes in a day, right? Like, that seems pretty easy. If you can't do that, you need to work on your craft a little bit, okay? So that's what this guy does every single day, including holidays. And this is what this guy does to keep the juices flowing, right? And as a person that wants to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, you're going to have to do this thing, right? If you don't have something to build, you need to go work on your editing skills, right? If you don't have something to edit, you need to go work on your, CNC knowledge. If you don't understand CNCs, you need to go learn about advertising and marketing, right? And then if you don't have enough stuff to build, you need to go work on the next product, right? Work on your designs. Work on figuring out how vendors work on, learning where you can sell, looking for leads. Like, there's always something to do. And this is the thing. People lack the discipline to do the work every day to be what it is that they want to be. And then at the end of the day, they're like, fuck me, this is too hard. I don't want to do this. Or no, this guy, man, F him. He doesn't understand. He's lucky. I hear that one all the time. You're lucky. Like, we don't have what you have. You're this, you're that. It's always somebody else's fault. And the truth is that people don't understand the discipline. Right? They think, oh God, if I just go get this guy's course, I get this guy's book, I watch these guys' videos, I'm going to be a furniture maker. I'm going to be a success, right? And it's all bullshit. It's total bullshit. And I think these videos are going to be freaking awesome for people because it's just the reality of the behind the scenes of becoming a business owner. Okay, so this is how Stephen King approaches writing novels. Okay, and as a woodworker that wants to be a business owner, you're going to have to adopt a very similar type of work ethic. Okay. Like, again, I'm on a snow day today. Like, I was on a snow day yesterday. Right. And I make videos pretty much every day, and I've got my SolidWorks so I can design furniture if I need something to do. Like, there's always something to do. There's always something you're going to need to be working on, and sitting at home watching television, maybe cooking a 5-course meal, hanging out with your wife and all this kind of thing. All that stuff's great. But you do that after the work is done. You do that after the discipline of going out to do what it is that you want to do, supposedly want to do, is done. Then you can go have the fun. Okay, so it's really important that people have this discipline, and it bothers me when people try and tell you, you just need to buy my course. You just need to do my 10 tips for this, my 7 tips for that. Do what I did, and everything's going to work out perfectly. Okay, so you can do everything that I did. If you don't have discipline, it ain't happening. You're not going to get there unless you're some flash in the pan kind of situation. It ain't freaking happening. So that's I thought that was kind of interesting when I read this about Stephen King, and I thought it was fantastic. All right. Another thing we'll talk about with Stephen King's writing philosophy is people stop writing when it starts to feel like work. Okay, so let's go back to Mr. King. We can go right here. We'll highlight this whole paragraph, and you can see that they've already highlighted right in here. The work starts to feel like work. Okay, here's another thing. Like, this is the truth. People think, oh, I go into my shop and I relax. It's my Zen place. You're like, dude, it ain't like that. If you go out to work and it feels like your Zen place, or the place you want to be, or the place where you feel like you belong, all these things that people say, like, you're doing it wrong, man. You ain't gonna make it. You ain't gonna make it. If you've been at it and you don't feel like, fuck this, I'm not going to work today. I don't want to do this shit. I fucking hate my shop. I don't want to go there. Like, you're probably not working hard enough unless you're already super successful. When you're successful and you're making enough money to pay your bills and you're happy with where you're at, you can have those days. Otherwise, shut up, get to work, get it done. People are not going to like you. Your girlfriend, your spouse, your whatever is probably going to think, oh, you go too hard. You don't need to do that much. You need to be able to tell those people, fuck off. I'm going to work. I'm getting this done. You're not going to get in my way. I love you, but I'll see you later. And unfortunately, that is how it is, right? Your kids, oh, you need to go spend time with your kids. You need to be doing, like, nope, the kids can come to the shop. We're going to go to work. We're going to do this thing. They're going to see dad working. They're going to see me busting my ass because I don't want my kids thinking that fucking money comes easy, that work comes easy. You need to instill this stuff in your kids by doing it yourself. And it's very important that people do this stuff, right? So when it starts to feel like work, here it is. For most writers, this is the smoosh of death. Right? It's just, people don't want to do it at that point. It's not fun anymore. It's not supposed to always be fun. There will be days when you will go into that shop and you'll be like, oh, this is awesome. I love this project. I'm going to go work on this thing today. And what I think nobody tells people, and take this as it is. Okay. You can learn to like anything. Okay. And I'll tell you what, even if you hate what you do, there are days when you go in and you're like, oh, this is good. I like this. This isn't so bad, right? There are plenty of days where when you're trying to reach this escape velocity that I'm talking about, getting away from the W-2 job and getting into working for yourself, is you can take something that you just absolutely hate and you can make it heaven. You really can, right? And you do that with small wins, and I'll do a video on small wins, but you have to have a victory every day, like whatever it might be. It can be, I built this drawer box, right? This drawer box is super clean. I made this, I cleaned my shop today. I made this organizing thing, whatever. I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be, but you have to learn to appreciate and recognize tiny wins within the construct of the thing that is you're trying to do, right? It could be, hey, you know what? I watched these videos today and I learned how to do this thing. And then tomorrow I'm going to go apply that. right? Or I'm going to go watch this video. Now, tomorrow I got more videos to watch. I got more research until I can get to this thing that I want. And these little tiny micro goals as a part of a larger goal can really be helpful. And there's no masterclass on how to do this. It's just doing the work every day. And I think the best thing is, again, what Stephen King said here. You're writing 10 pages a day. I mean, it's just what it is. You're doing something that leads you to your goal, which is to get away from a W-2 job and to be able to make money as a woodworker. You have to do something to get you to that goal every freaking day. You have to do something that's your 10 pages. And so anyway, I think it's a very good point, and not enough people talk about that, right? They're telling you the easy way. If you just do what I do, then everything's going to be fine, And the truth is all that stuff definitely has value. But if you don't have discipline, like you're lying to yourself. You're absolutely lying to yourself. So that's a cold, hard reality. People lack discipline. Okay, so I think I've said enough on discipline. The next topic we're going to talk about is learning must become your important skill, right? This is your most important skill, because truth is, if we go back to what I talked about at the very top, nobody cares about your woodworking skills. Truth is you want to do this to become a woodworker, right? So it means you already have those skills. You already have that passion. You already know what you want to do. I want to make furniture. I want to make cabinets. I want to, make built-ins, do carpentry work, whatever it might be. You already have that passion, right? The reason you can't get away from your W-2 job is because the person that owns that company has done all the stuff that I'm talking about. They've put in all the work. They've learned all the skills so that they could then have the money to hire people to do the stuff that they've already learned how to do, right? One of the things that I hear people say, and this is the next thing I'm going to talk about, and I'll just touch on it. All these freaking gurus, they always say, hire your weaknesses. There's no fucking money. There's no money to hire your weaknesses, and there's a version where you can dabble in that a little bit. But truth is you have to know what a good person at that skill is versus a bad person at that skill. Right. And this idea that you can just throw money away and people are just going to, well, this didn't work out. Well, now I'm going to go hire this person. There's no money for that. And these people that tell you that kind of stuff are bullshitting you. So be very careful when people tell you that kind of stuff. Okay. So learning must become your most important skill. And I wrote down all these things: web development, delivery experience, revenue streams, CNC machines. Okay. And I wrote these down just as notes. You have to become an expert at learning. Right. And some people say, well, you got to go to school. No, you do not have to go to school. Your school is your shop, right? Your school is your business. Your school is the dream. All right. You have to go figure out the skills you need to learn to go chase that dream. Right. And that means you need to get on the internet. Unfortunately, you need to find people that are doing the things that you want to do and talk to those people. Ingratiate yourself to those people. Don't be an asshole. Look like you're interested. All these kind of things will help you to learn the skills that you want to learn. And I'm putting this video on YouTube. I put this on Instagram. And again, this is the place that people are going now to learn things, because truth is that the people that are the experts, they're not approachable. They're not interested in helping you. They're doing their own thing. They're too damn busy, to hold your hand, wipe your nose, wipe your ass, all these kind of things. They've got their own stuff to deal with. So it's incumbent on you to learn how to become an expert in the fields that you want to become expert in. And as you do this stuff time and time, people will see what you're doing and they will come to you in a way. It's almost like gravity. People that are working hard, the people that have already worked hard want to help you, right? The truth is that business owners that see another business owner that's doing the work, they will help you. They will want to help you. But if you're not one of these people and you're just talking shit and asking questions and saying you want to be interested in it, these people are not going to help you because they're not interested, because you haven't done the work. You're talking about doing the work. You haven't done the work. Once you do that, these people will come to you and they will help you to step to the next level and get you to where you want to be. So last thing I'm going to talk about is you don't have money to hire experts or weaknesses, right? I hear this a lot. And there's an element where you can absolutely hire people. There's no doubt about it. But if you're going to get out of what it is that you're currently doing, you're going to have to learn to do some of these things on your own. And too many people say these things like hire your weaknesses, right? Like, yeah, I suck at operating a CNC. Okay, great. I'm going to go hire a CNC company. Okay, I don't know anyone that has a CNC, right? Even if I have the money for a CNC, I don't know how to run the damn thing, right? So I got to go hire a CNC operator, right? Again, there's no money for that kind of stuff. So you really do need to go learn these skills if you want to do these things. And plus, it makes you so much better aware of when somebody's bullshitting you, right? You can tell good quality versus poor quality. You can tell competence versus incompetence. And you have a little bit more intuition about where you're going when you are able to actually hire these things out. So I hear this all the time, and everybody claims to be an expert, right? Everybody on YouTube, everyone on Instagram, the internet, they're all experts. And one thing you can do every time, if someone claims to be an expert, you need to go look at what they're selling. Okay. And I say this to everybody about pretty much everything, right? If you want to know if a furniture maker is an expert in making furniture, see if you can buy their furniture. How easy is it to buy their furniture? What is the process to buy their furniture, right? And truth is that most of these people, they're not selling furniture. And it's just the case, and that's fine if you don't want to sell furniture. You want to talk about selling products. There's a complete industry for that. And so go do that, but don't lie to people. You'll see a lot of people talk about selling advertising, right? You can outsource all your marketing, you can outsource all your advertising, and there are people that do this kind of stuff. But the problem is that most of the people that are paying for the advertising to do it aren't actually very good at it, right? So in one way you can tell is go look at what they're selling, right? Their track record is not going to be very good. They're going to have lots of great video. They're going to have lots of great audio. Their videos are going to look super clean. Everything's going to be super polished. And truth is that you're never going to find anyone that's used their products. And if you can find one of those people, ask them, how was it? What did you think? And what you're going to find out is a lot of these people don't have a ton of growth from these people. Because the truth is that the people that hire them have no freaking idea how any of this stuff works. They have no idea, right? So they don't know if the person they're hiring is quality or if they're a charlatan. They have no idea. So again, this is what I talk about. You need to constantly be learning about how these things work. You need to be constantly learning about what is high quality, what is low quality, what is success, what is not success. And all these things are super important. Same thing with web development, right? You can get on Fiverr, you can hire somebody to develop your website. But again, if you can't find anyone that's used their service before or knows how they've been how their product is, you really have no idea. You're going off of their advertising, you're going off the polish of their webpage, you're going off of all these factors, but you're not talking to anybody because you don't know anyone. So it's super important to learn these skills. And even if you're not good at them, learn them anyway. Put something out there, it's going to be shit. The next thing you put out is going to be less shit, and so on and so forth and so forth. So finally, you may get some extra cash. You can hire some of this stuff out, right? And that's where the reality of doing these things comes in, right? So when everyone talks about, hire your weaknesses and hire the experts, these people are, they're I won't say they're liars, but they're not being honest about what it means to try and start a company, what it means to start and to try and develop a product, what it means to do all of these things. They're just trying to get your dollars as quickly as they can. And if later on you find out that they're full of shit, doesn't matter. They've already gotten paid because their success is not tied to your success, unfortunately. And that's a big thing that people don't talk about. So anyway, this video is done. I need to finish up this last part, and I had to go do something. So anyway, I hope you get value out of this. And like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And if you want more of this content, let me know. Let me know about the topics you want me to discuss. And again, I'm here in St. Louis, Missouri. Business is the Resplendent Crow. You can come into our shop anytime. You can see our products. You can order our stuff online, and we will send you furniture. We will make furniture. You can buy furniture. The content you see out here is part of this, what we call like, know, and trust. And that's why I put out all these videos. I put out all this content to show people that we're a real company. We do this for real. And the videos here that I'm putting out lately are to show you that you can do this too. But it's not as easy as people make it out to be, okay? We're not selling courses. We're not selling any of that shit because it doesn't really work for people. It sounds good. It makes you feel good for a little bit. But at the end of the day, you got to have the discipline to get up and write your 10 pages, just like Stephen King said. So anyway, everyone have a great day.